Jesus is a divisive figure in our world, but according to historians and humanitarians and even a modern trend, he actually shouldn't be. And the problem is that he is misunderstood. People are quite quick to point out that Jesus was more of a peacemaker in a tumultuous civilization. His ethics were exactly what the world needed at the time. He taught that we are to love our enemies, to forgive others unreservedly, to care for the needy, the poor, and the downtrodden. Jesus actually presents us a pattern of life to follow, of wholeness and simplicity. They would say that his death was unfortunate and that he fell into the hands of those who opposed him, and they just so happened to be religious fanatics, zealots as it were. Jesus was simply misunderstood by his contemporaries. Well, granted, much of what Jesus taught was misunderstood by his contemporaries, but they did understand enough. And what they did understand was enough to make their hearts burn with anger towards him and get rid of him as soon as they could. It wasn't his ethics that scandalized them. It was his self-proclaimed titles that he brought upon himself. Let me give you an example. In John chapter 14, verse 6, Jesus said this, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through me." Now think about such a statement as that. Think about such a claim. Jesus here wants you to picture, if we can illustrate this, he wants you to picture heaven like a ginormous kingdom, a large kingdom. And what he's saying, this great kingdom, it has only one entrance, one door, and you're looking at it. You do not come in except from me. And so in one little statement, he says, name every religion on the planet, it's false. Name every belief system on the planet, it's a lie. It's all lies. It will send you to hell. It's all untrue because I am the truth and I am the way. How do you think such a message by someone going around proclaiming that today, how do you think they would be received in our world? How do you think Jesus would be received if he was to walk upon our earth these days with the same message? I can tell you, we live in such a society, such a world where absolute truths are squashed immediately. We live in one of the most intolerant societies of objective truth. I can assure you, if Jesus was here today, he would be charged. Men would want to tear him to pieces. He would be charged as the greatest bigot to walk on the earth. He would be charged with hate speech, intolerance, psychological abuse, as a religious fanatic, as one who is completely and utterly self-deluded as to his identity. And I can assure you that he would have a bounty on his head. This is who Jesus was. Understand, no one has ever been able to bear the message of Jesus. Whether you live in the 21st century or you lived in the 1st century AD, no one can handle his claims. But the problem is, we have no other message that we're allowed to believe. There is no other message, Jesus says, by which we can get to heaven through, but himself. Why is Jesus the only way? Why is his claim so exclusive? He is the only one sent from God to this earth. He is the only one sinless and without guilt. And he is the only one sent as a sacrifice for sin. You will not find that in another religion. And so he comes to lay down his life to pay the penalty and to pay the wages of sin, which is death. And he does it through his death on the cross so that all who would believe in him would gain forgiveness in eternal life. Have you come through that one and only door?